Today I'm going to take a ride. Let's go for a spin in the Old Faithful here. The F30 335i.
Orange twist in your martini sound.
I'm going to talk about my ownership experience and kind of give you tips if you're interested in getting an F30. I've owned two F30s before. I owned a 2012 328i. Was black sapphire car as well. That one had like the modern was the modern line, because back then they had like the sport line, the modern line, the N Sport line, and I think they had a comfort line or something, or a luxury, something like that. And yeah, that car was great. I think that car, I did tune it a bit. I think all I did was getting it. I got a JB4 for it, and it was just running the stage 1 map all the time. I think I did get it dynoed, and I think it dynoed at like, I'm gonna say like 260 wheel. I'm not sure. If I have the graph, I'll put it up on the screen there. And all I had was the JB4, and that's it. And you know, at the time I thought that was a fast car until I took it to the track one day, and it was honestly, it probably wasn't the car's fault so much. It was the car was the track that I went to was at elevation. I don't know, it wasn't at sea level, so it probably didn't help. So I ran a 14.9 at the drag strip, and I just wasn't satisfied with that. I wanted something a little faster, and you know, so I think within a month I ended up buying this car. So this is a 2014 335i with the N55 engine, and this is the car I owned the longest. I think I bought the 2012 and 2013. I bought it 1 year used. I think I paid under 30 grand for it. I'm gonna say like 28. Then I bought this one in 2017, so it was like 3 years old when I bought it. And I think I also bought this one at like around $28,000. But you know, obviously, like most German sedans and most German automobiles, they depreciate quite fast, especially like the BMWs, maybe Audis, BMWs, and Mercedes. Just have they're notorious for having extremely high repair costs and maintenance. And I'm gonna sort of give you my ownership perspective from owning two of these cars from 2013, so over 10 years, and I've owned two of them. This car has been extremely reliable. I think I've only had one major repair done to it. I honestly, I wouldn't call it major, and it really never left me stranded. I had some kind of a radiator, or like, it wasn't like a main radiator hose, it was like an auxiliary, I don't know what it was, a very thin like metal line that was running to the radiator, and it just all of a sudden like broke one day, and I saw like a bunch of steam coming from the hood, and the car started to overheat, and I like immediately had to take it to the dealer to get it repaired. And you know, I don't think it was like a $700 repair or something at the dealer. I you know, this is like an emergency repair. I didn't have time to go to a smaller shop, even though I don't think they would, like around where I live, around the DC area, repair independent shops aren't, you know, it's a slight difference in price. It's not like significantly cheaper. And when you go to the dealership, you know, I've been burned by independent shops in the past, so I sort of have like this aversion to getting stuff done at independent shops. And I know that most of them are honest, but you know, at a dealership, you know, if you get the job done, and for some, you know you're covered by at least some kind of warranty period. You can go back and they'll fix it or whatever. I've never had any issues by going to the dealership. I know a lot of people are saying you're wasting money, you should do it yourself. To be honest, I just don't have the time. Unlike a lot of people, you know, I work a lot, I have 3 kids, I just don't have the time to wrench myself. And you know, for like an experienced mechanic, that has been wrenching for 10, 15, 20 years, a lot of jobs are easy. But for me, I'd have to like read up on it, study it, watch some kind of video or some tutorial, get like some kind of like manual, repair manual or something, and follow it step by step, and it would be a massive learning curve for me. So if it would take a mechanic 2 hours to do a job, quadruple it. It would probably take me 6 to 8 hours to do the same job, even with the correct equipment and with a lift. And I just honestly don't have the time. But yeah, so that was the biggest major repair for this car. I think I've had a couple of leaks. I'm trying to remember. I think I replaced some kind of suspension component, like a control arm once, that failed. I think that was not cheap. I don't remember exactly what it cost, but I have kept all my records. I think I did, right now the car, I've had a couple, I had the oil filter, which is at the top of the engine. That seal failed and it started to leak. I had that repaired. I think that was like $400 or $500, maybe $300 to $400. I'm gonna say, I can't, if I'm not mistaken. I also had repaired some other leak pretty recently. I don't remember, but now they keep telling me that the oil pan is leaking, even though I've seen like literally like 3 drops of oil in my garage. So it must be a very minor leak, even though I know this does have a lot of undercarriage trays and stuff. So yeah, so you know, overall it had nothing major, knock on fake wood, nothing major's happened to this car. Over the years, and you know, and it is tuned. It's making, I'm gonna say right now, since it's running the stage 1, 2, so this is running the boot mode. It was running boot mode stage 2 because it had a catted downpipe, and I also have the intercooler upgrade. So the catted downpipe, I think it was a fab speed that in the beginning it was great. I think I would go drive for 6 months without getting a check engine light. Occasionally I'd have to reset it, and I know you can tune that out, but I just didn't want to deal. I wanted to have a car that if I took to get inspected, I'm not gonna fail. So I ended up putting the original, the OEM cat back on, the OEM downpipe. And ever since, it's been fine. So I did run the catted downpipe for, I'm gonna say, like 3 to 4 years. So it lasted a while, but eventually started, like, I'd have to plug in my my computer to take off the check engine light every week. So it ended up becoming a pain in the ass, and I can't stand looking at that check engine light. And I'm aware that you can have it coded out, but I'm just not. I just wanted to have and honestly, even though it was catted, you did get a bit of a smell, gasoline smell from the exhaust. So it's not really something I would recommend unless you're a diehard. If you want to enhance the exhaust, I would go for some kind of. I would either get a catback or an axle back exhaust and just leave it emissions legal. I bought 2 downpipes for this car. I bought the Evolution Raceworks catted downpipe. That one was a piece of junk. Sounded really great though, but it was not really. It did not prevent the check engine light from coming on. So I think I had it uninstalled. I installed it, had it uninstalled, and I think I paid. I wasted a lot of money, and I think I had to sell it at a huge loss, and it sucked. And eventually the Fab Speed, when I called Fab Speed, I said, I complained and told them the check engine light was coming on, and obviously you guys say that it's not supposed to come on. And and they said, sorry, it's not under warranty anymore. And when I got a quote, to just have a new cat put into it, because and it was basically the same cost as just buying a new one, or just maybe $100 less. So it didn't make any sense. So again, I just put the I put the OEM downpipe on, and all is well. It doesn't really feel that much slower, you know, even on stage 1. If you look at the power, what boot mode states that the power increase would be, it's like another 3%. It's not a big difference, and ever since I've been running stage 1, it's actually operates. I used to have a lot of like drivability issues, and I know you could probably get a custom tune to fix that stuff. I just didn't want to pay the money to do that. So I drove it in stage 2 for a while with a lot of drive. It was like it would lurch a lot. You know, you'd have to kind of modulate the gas pedal a lot more. And stage 1 is a lot smoother, and I actually enjoy it more, and it gives me more than enough power. I'm totally cool with that. You know, overall, you know, as far as maintenance, you got to do the maintenance. You just, you know, do everything that the BMW says you got to do to this car. You just got to do it, or you're just gonna, because I feel like that's been the key to me having a reliable car. You cannot defer maintenance on these vehicles. You just cannot. If you're looking to buy one of these, my recommendation would be to just make sure that they have, you know, make sure it obviously has a clean Carfax. It has a, you know, and as you can at the least see in the Carfax that maintenance was done periodically on the car. You know, in my opinion, if you're buying it from a private party, I would prefer to see some kind of maintenance records, like from the dealership or wherever they had their maintenance done. You know, and if they did it themselves, you know, the more that you can document, the better. If they had like maybe receipts for whatever products they purchased, like oil or oil filters. I know not a lot of people are going to do that, but honestly, the key to having a reliable F30 is just maintenance. Be religious about it. Do everything that they say. And pretty much the same goes for my 328. So why would you want to like buy one of these cars? Well, number one, they're extremely cheap right now. I paid $28,000 for this one in 2017, so I've owned it for going on 7 years, and the value has gone down dramatically. I mean, the trade-in value. Obviously, if I sold it private party, I could probably get 15 grand for this car, maybe 16, because it's in pretty good condition. And you know, the mileage, although high, I think I have 82,300 right now. It's really not that high. It's a good running car, and obviously I'd return it, everything. You know, I'd put the stock tune back on, and you know, make it as OEM as I can. Obviously, I'm not going to remove the intercooler, because the cost to remove it, to take it to a shop to get it removed, would be more than the price that I would get to sell it. I also have the hot and cold side charge pipes on the intercooler, so it's got some upgrades, and I honestly kept it as stock looking as possible. So the intercooler pipes, or the charge pipes, are all like black aluminum. The intercooler itself is like anodized black aluminum, so it looks stock. If you look at it, yeah, you can if you look closely, you can probably tell that there's an upgraded intercooler, but it's pretty it's stock. I wanted to keep this car kind of like a sleeper. So yeah, prices for these cars are extremely low right now. You could probably get one, even at a dealership or something, you could probably get one of these for about, I'm gonna say like 20 grand or so, with not so high mile, maybe like 80,000 miles, maybe a little less, maybe call it 18 to 23,000 dollars, depending on mileage and condition. This is a lot of car for the money, man. And not everybody needs to get an M car to have a little bit of fun. I've taken this car to the track. Five times, and I had a blast. You know, obviously it has a little more body roll than an M car. I've been in an M3, and yes, it's a superior vehicle in every way. The suspension's more, tuned for the track. But I still had a lot of fun with this car, having, the stage 2 tune at the time. one of the instructors like commented on how like how that, you know, he said, whoa, that was packed a lot of power, like it really pulls you back in the seat. So for not a lot of money, you just get the boot mode tune, put the stage 1 tune, you got a really fun car. And you can get these cars with a manual if you want to have even more fun. You know, it might be harder to sell a manual car, but it won't be like a collectible kind of car, but it'll be more sought after in the future to have, because first of all, they didn't make as many manuals, and in the future, you know, everybody's going to want to have a manual, like, you know, BMW, like call it 10 years from now. I think right now these cars are more attractive than the current BMWs that are being made, except, you know, I kind of like the M340i that's currently available. It doesn't have the like the stupid like beaver teeth for grills, but you know, I love this car. I think it, you know, it's a great all-around car that, you know, that's kind of, it's still fun. It gets you to where you need to go with relative reliability, high maintenance costs, but you know, it rewards you with like some, you know, way better driving. It's a way better driving experience than like your Camry or Accord. I would take this over one of those any day. But, you know, again, you just have to do the maintenance. And if you're going to buy one, get the maintenance records. Do what you got to do to get that, because without it, it's... I honestly, if you can't get any proof of maintenance, at the very least, pull a Carfax report on it and make sure that maintenance was done. And all these cars did have included maintenance when you roll off the lot with them. So at the very least, their maintenance probably was done for the first 4 years, but at this point, these cars are approaching 10 years old, so you got to make sure the maintenance continued. But anyway, I'm going to leave it at that, and let me know if you have any questions about these cars. Again, I've owned one for over 10 years, either the 328 or the 335i. The N55 engine rocks. It's extremely reliable, and I can't recommend it enough if you just want to have a good all-around fun car. And you can get a manual if you do want to. They're out there. All right. Well, I hope you liked the video. It really helps a lot if you can give me a thumbs up. Really helps. And I'll see you in the next one.